What's going on, everybody? My name is JJ Hernandez. Some of you might know me. A lot of you probably do not. I was a sales manager and a sales coach over at Educate. And honestly, if you bought one of Iman's program, I probably sold it to you as well. So I've seen this video a lot. I've gotten a lot of requests to review this in our community. And it's got like 12 million views or something. So I hope it's a good call, because if people are using this as a template or as an example for what sales calls should look like for their agency, I would hope that it's good. And Iman, if you're watching this, I miss you, man. Haven't seen you since December, since the marathon. If I roast you, I'm sorry. If it's great, I wouldn't be surprised. So let's just jump into it, and we'll see.
Whereabouts? In southern of Sweden, a town called Helsingborg. It's at the bottom. Yeah.
Very interesting. Never heard of it before. Never been to Stockholm.
No?
Really want to go. I mean, Sweden just has the most incredible women, honestly.
I agree.
And then I've been to Gothia.
That's typical Iman.
Gothia Towers.
No, or not Gothia. Gothenburg.
Gothenburg. Yeah.
Gothia Cup. Like 3 years.
Yeah.
Play a lot of football. Man, like
Nice.
it's so funny. I remember, like, I would ask girls, like, it was like half about football, half about like partying and girls and so like I would ask girls, like, what are you doing here? They're like, oh, we're here for 2 weeks because we traveled from the other side of Sweden to come meet like British and American boys and French boys and this and that.
Yeah, I've also played at that cup, actually.
Really?
Yeah. It's
a lot of fun. Anyways, just a quick heads up.
Okay, as far as that being like a rapport icebreaker, this is technically B2B. If you don't know what that is, business to business. So Iman is a business. This guy's a business. Yes, they're both human. I don't understand that. But selling B2B, typically, if you're not the founder, that probably would not fly. And granted, if you guys are selling your own agency services and you're small and you're selling to like some hot shot, I probably wouldn't do that. But that's Iman being his most authentic self, and I think that's okay. But also, I can't see this guy's facial expressions at the bottom. It's blurred out, so maybe maybe he's young. Who knows? But if it's like an older guy, probably wouldn't start off that way, especially if he has no idea who you are. But for Iman, this is okay. For you, I'd recommend just maybe do a little bit of research on them, see where they're based out of, and be like, oh, hey, I see you're from New York. I've been in the Empire State Building. I mean, even that's like cheesy. Sometimes you don't even have to do rapport, especially in B2B. You don't have to do that. But just recommending to the guys who are starting off in this space, I would not start off by saying they have the most beautiful girls over there, especially if they do not know who you are.
Going straight into this call, won't be able to make you an offer today. This is just kind of no pressure, preliminary conversation. Obviously, Danny had the first 15-minute demo call with you. I'll just be 100% honest with you. I was actually traveling the last 36 hours, so I actually just didn't get a chance to watch it. Obviously, I always watch over demo calls, so as I said, I just want to get a bit of preliminary information from you. Then Danny and I can go away and speak about it. Now, from what I understand, you guys got 2 brands that you're working on. And
okay, again, I will preface, like, if you're not Iman at this point, I guarantee they probably knew who Iman was, at least a little bit, because he seems like he's coming in with like a high status, high frame. A lot of you guys won't have this benefit where like, I didn't watch it. Okay, granted, if you said that to somebody who's in B2B, high level guy making like $1 million a month or something like that, 100K, 200K per month, they're gonna be like, dude, you didn't watch it. Like, you're just wasting my time. But also, it's kind of weird. This is a 3-call close. You don't typically see it because he did a strategy call or a discovery. I'm sorry, not discovery. He did a set call with Danny, this guy. Then there's this discovery, and then there's gonna be a closing call. So a little unique. Not bad when he set the agenda and the frame there by saying, okay, cool. Hey, the point of the conversation, or not a bad job by Iman by setting the frame there. I guess he can't make him offer on this call because it's a 3-call close, which is a little unique. That does put down the guard of the person, the prospect he's selling to, because it's okay, cool. I'm not going to have to buy anything on this call. Totally fine. This is just going to be a standard discovery call. So I don't think the agenda was great because he could have just been like, hey, man, I can't make an offer today, but the point of the conversation today is to do X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. Like, point of the conversation here is to figure out where you're at now, where you want to go, understand if we can help you get there. If we can, I'm not going to make you an offer today, but we can go ahead and book a second call if it makes sense. But let's just figure out if it does make sense to do that at all. That's like a rough one. You can just say something like that, just so there's a little more clarity on the conversation, what's going to happen. So not horrible, but could be better.
Yeah.
Kind of, where's the focus at the moment, and which one do you more specifically want to help with, or do you want to help with both?
So we have two brands, and the first brand is focused on the Swedish e-commerce market, and the other one is focused in the US. And we want to focus on the Swedish one for sure. And we have pushed quite a lot of revenue lately, and it's only like a month old, but we really see a huge potential here. Yeah, so that's the one we want to focus on.
So you say it's a month old, but from what I understand, you guys are doing over 6 figures a month with it?
Yeah, we're doing like, yesterday we did about 35K in revenue.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, 6 months time, where would you need to be for you to consider it?
That was weak, Iman. I like how you opened up to get context and clarity around what he wants to do. Is it both brands, one brand? That's fine. I think it's good to have that preface so you understand where the conversation goes down. Then going into revenue, it's a month old, but you're in 6 figures a month. Great. It's great from the notes. And then jumping into the goals, there's an opportunity there where you understand, okay, revenue is 35K. How much is profit? Right? And then getting more context on it, double down, going down that rabbit hole of the money because you're on that topic. Because what's going to happen, I can already see it where it's probably going to feel like he's asking questions just to ask questions where there's no flow. Most of you guys probably know this, where it's like start of the conversation, you build out rapport, then you go into current state or future state, or you could even do, future state and then current state. But I have a feeling this is going to bounce around. So just based off like that little gap that he missed right there, where it's like, okay, cool, 35K yesterday. Where are you at for the month? Okay, how much of that is profit? Just thought there was an opportunity there. So totally fine. Let's see where it goes.
A success, our partnership a success.
Do you mean revenue-wise or?
Yeah, revenue-wise.
Do you mean in the entire 6 months?
No, as in how much monthly?
Like $1 million. We want to aim like 500K to $1 million. Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah.
Understood. So, at the moment, are you just running the ads yourself?
Yeah. Currently, I'm.
Again, like 500K to $1 million. Cool. Why that number? How'd you come up with that? It's just you want to. What's going to happen is when you're that surface level. I mean, I'm pretty confident he closes this. I don't think he would post it if he didn't. But you don't want to be surface level. You want to be able to go down those rabbit holes to understand, one, get clarity for yourself, but also so they can have clarity on like why their goals are that. Because I believe your goal as a closer, as a sales rep here, is to help them figure out the goals they didn't realize they had, or the problems they didn't realize that they have. And so people can just be saying these numbers just to say it. And like, is it even possible? He's just throwing it out there. Like, why? Well, okay, what is that going to allow? What is that going to allow for you to do? Like, it's just getting clarity on those things. So, opportunity there that was missed as well.
I'm doing all of the ads myself, but we have people that source videos and copywriters and stuff like that. So, but I focus on the advertising myself.
For sure. Awesome. How much time does it take out of your day?
Like 4 or 5 hours a day. Yeah.
4 or 5 hours a day.
I do. Yeah, I focus a lot on it.
And are you the only founder, or do you have a partner?
2 others.
2 others.
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours a day. That's a lot.
Right.
So yeah, if you give me a breakdown, like let's say over the space of the last 30 days, how much have you guys? I'm assuming it's over the Facebook.
Yes, it's only focused on Facebook right now. Yes.
How much have you guys spent, and how much have you guys brought back?
I can take a look right now on the exact numbers. One second.
Nice.
So since the beginning, we have generated 200K so far, and we spent 60K on ads.
Awesome.
And that's in euros.
Amazing. And what's your guys' biggest seller on that store?
It's like LED spotlight. Like when you can just put it like whenever you want. It's like
yeah, looking at it now.
Do you guys see what I mean? But like, it feels sporadic. Like it's just a question to question to question to question to question to question. It's like nothing feels like it doesn't feel like a conversation. It's just like an interrogation, like a checklist almost. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what's the sort of skew on that? Is that bringing in like 50% of sales, 80% of sales? Like what's the distribution between the products?
70% at the moment. It's our biggest winner for sure.
Awesome. And then your second biggest winner?
It's we have a Galaxy lamp, and then we have it's like a fireplace cabin. So to say, yeah, that's also a winner.
Okay, amazing.
But we run about like 7 to 8 products right now that is performing good, so I'm just scaling from there.
And for example, with the spotlight, what's your margins on that?
We buy it for like $6, and we sell it for like 30 euros. So it's pretty good margins on that one.
Well, okay, amazing.
$6 with shipment and everything.
That's with shipping and everything, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, great. And your the lamp? you know what the numbers are on that
I can actually look at it for you.
in terms of margins and everything?
We have pretty much lower margins on that one, but I'm not currently. It was pretty good the first 2 weeks, but then I scaled it down a bit. Let me see. I can sort on the SKUs here. So actually, the lamp is the third biggest winner. We sell it for like 50 euros, and we buy it for around 20, 22, 23. So it's not the best margins on that one, and that's why we have scaled it down too and focus more on the spotlight, the LED one.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned in your application that you worked with a couple other agencies and had some not so great experiences. Can you touch on that a little more?
Yeah, we've only worked with one agency before.
Again, this is not horrible. I mean, okay, well, as a traditional salesperson, yes. I mean, like this is just shooting at. I used to sell like this when I was at Iman's team in the beginning. When I came from Hermosi's team, it's totally different, like B2B, B2C, and it's just like this is just shooting at the hip, hoping that like it's going to work out, and at the end it can, but this doesn't become a process that you can emulate. You can't do this over and over. You're not going to have clarity around like what it should look like, how it's going to work. And if somebody's like a little colder, they're just going to feel like you're just asking random questions and it's all over the place. And they're not going to feel that emotion throughout the conversation. This should have been asked way earlier, way earlier, or not, at least just not at this point in the discovery. So not a bad question. Like you say, hey, you had a bad experience in the past. But like, that's the first thing I would address. If there's a bad experience, address it, because then it's going to bite you in the ass later.
And we were pretty satisfied with their work, but then we added them as an admin on our ad accounts, and one of the members in the agency got hacked on their Facebook. So they actually hacked our complete business manager, and they removed all of our ads, and we couldn't restore the Facebook accounts. So, and they didn't give us the money back too. So it was a very bad experience.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. Now you mentioned in 6 months, you want to be at 500,000.
Okay, now I will say this: if you bring that up, dive deeper into it. Dive deeper. It's not just like, oh, well, it is what it is. Okay, and so what was the expectation of what they were going to do for you? How did it work out? What was the working relationship? What did you like? What did you not like? I mean, maybe not an assistance, sure, but like, yeah, I wouldn't say like, what did you like, what did you not like? Obviously, it seemed like a horrible experience, right? But it's just like, break it down more for me. Like, give me more of the details. I know he said a couple things on like, oh yeah, it was this, that. Cool. Okay, what was the expectation here? Got it. And then like, because what you want to do is, if someone says they're burnt in the past, what's going to happen is at the end of the conversation, if it smells somewhat similar to what they've experienced or dealt with, they're going to be like, I don't know. It's just going to be like a little bit afraid. There's going to be this like resistance if you don't address it earlier. That's the biggest key here. Okay. Or even asking a question like, hey, like, you know, oftentimes when people get burnt in the past, they really have a hard time coming around and even trying again. So what makes you think this time's going to be any different? And like, oh, well, Iman, you're this, you're that, da. You have to address something. You can't just bring it up and be like, sorry about that, boss. Whatever. Like, but I do think Iman has leverage though here. I mean, again, this is the when he was becoming a lot more popular, and so he was on the prowl there. So he could get away with this because there is a trust factor, right? That social status. Think about like this right now. If you hopped on a call with Iman right now, where he's at right now, and he asked you for 50K, and I mean, granted, if you're making 100K a month, and he asked you for 50K, you're gonna be like, all right, fuck it, like it's fucking Iman. I trust this guy. This guy's a millionaire himself. Why would I not? Versus if you hop on with like a sales rep, somebody you don't know, or like most of you guys who are small, you need to dive deeper into these things in order for them to be like, okay, I trust this guy.
Month, potentially even $1 million a month revenue. Is that as a business, or you want us to bring you in, $500,000? Maybe if you could, pinpoint a number that you'd be happy with, and then specifically how much you'd want us to spend, just so we can, kind of gather expectations. Because if you want us to do $500,000 a month at a 7x ROAS, not sure if that's possible. If you want to do it, kind of maintaining your margins as is, then it's definitely a conversation we can entertain.
We're definitely aiming for that.
So remember earlier when he asked, like, what's the goal in the 6 months? $1 million, like, cool. Is that? And then he could have asked the same exact question just earlier. It just would have felt appropriate. It would have flowed with the process, the future state. Again, this is just too sporadic. It's all over the place. this is literally just him. I don't know if he's reading off a script. I mean, maybe, probably, but that's what it's going to feel like for a prospect who's been on a couple calls. They've been pitched before. They're like, dude, this is where are we going with this? Are you just interrogating me? Like, what are we doing here? Especially if they're higher level. Trust me.
500K with a 2.5 to 3 ROAS. That's attainable for us.
Amazing. Understood. So, out of curiosity, you obviously it's taking a lot of time out of your day. But apart from that, why do you want to work with an agency?
Because I feel like I want to focus on growing the company without like managing the ads all day long. And I feel like there's more stuff that we're going to focus on now, and getting a warehouse here in Sweden and ordering a huge stock here. So I'm going to work a lot with that too. Than other parts of the business as well. Yeah.
Heard you got burnt in the past, right? He asked that question, right? Okay. Breakdown. Okay. Yeah. No, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. I know it's really tough when you get burnt in the past to try to attempt these things again. But typically when I see that, people have a lot of resistance to attempt again. So what makes you feel like this time's gonna be any different? Oh, because of this. Okay. And why us? I mean, you could work with anybody else. Why us in particular? That would have hit so much harder than goal this. What about this? Why an agency? Did you get burnt in the past? Okay, and Iman, I hope you've improved.
So, just out of curiosity, have you guys looked at expanding into different markets? Because we've got clients come to us. One that comes to mind 2 months ago, or actually, 2.5 months ago. This client was just selling in UK, and we're like, look, I think we're going to do better. Like their entire business was just UK. Even had UK in the company name. We were like, look, we think you could do a lot better in the States. Within the space of 2.5 months, the ads that we're still advertising the UK, start advertising Canada, States, and Australia, but the ads specifically just from the US has 3 times what their entire business was doing when they joined us. We love bringing, taking clients, and we love pushing our clients and going, hey, maybe you're thinking a little too small here. So is that something you've thought about?
Yeah, we definitely want to go to other countries in Scandinavia, like Denmark, Norway, Finland, maybe possibly as well. But our main focus is Germany as well. It's a huge market there, and that's also why I need to work with an agency so I can start on working on developing the company into more countries as well. I can do that too.
You're a very smart man, because a lot of e-commerce business owners, they're doing good and they never get to great because they're so adamant on doing what someone else can do better. And is what our entire life is based on this thing. Our entire life, my entire company payroll, this, that, and as you said, we can't build new distribution channels for you. We can't build an incredible company culture for you. We can't we can't test price elasticity for you. We can't find new winners for your store. Only you can do that.
I agree.
All right, awesome. So all that makes sense. I'll be honest, it's all very, very reasonable. So let me go away and have a chat with Danny. I'll just put my cards out on the table. This is a very, you could not get a client that's more fits into our regular mold. Company coming to us doing 100, 150K a month, e-commerce, wants to get to 500K a month. This is pretty much what we do. This kind of fits our perfect mold. Next, the next call that we have, I'll go away, speak with Danny, speak with the rest of the team. The next call we have, I will tell you a little bit more, because on the results side of things, it's a green light. Honestly, no issues here. Only thing that's important to us is company culture, and that's really, really important to us. Actually, that's more important to us than anything. Because at the end of the day, we're not, we're not like a car salesman. I would say, a car salesman, it's like you're sleeping with someone. With us, it's like we're getting a relationship. Because at the end of the day, we're long-term partners. There's on your side, you need to enjoy working with us, and on our side, we need to enjoy working with you. And from my coming up on 5 years of having an agency, that's the only way I've ever seen it to work. We have very, very good relationships with our clients. So we'll go over that on the next call, and then outside of that, we'll make you an offer. Just to be very honest with you, it'll be a low base. The way that we like to make our money is always on performance. That's kind of the way that we prefer to be compensated. We'll make you an offer that is just kind of a no-brainer. And as I said, it's kind of based. The whole ethos around it will just be, we're very confident in what we can do for you guys, and we'll be compensated based on that.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and kick the can down the road. Let me just open up my calendar. As I said, I was traveling the past 36 hours, so it might be a little tight. So, ladies and gents, that is a prime example of me stalling because I basically knew nothing about.
Okay. Oh shit, these lights turned off. Overall, that discovery, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I've definitely seen worse. The guy resonated with the questions and whatnot, but he seems pretty warm. Actually, maybe like a 5 out of 10. because he did say he has a partner, and he didn't ask him at the end of the call, like, cool, can you make sure your partner's there? Because if the decision makers are not all there, or if the decision maker needs to be there, like, hey man, like I know you said 2 other business partners. Is this a decision you can make on your own, or would you need your business partner there? Excuse me. We would. Okay, cool. Let's just make sure that you can get invited and show up too. What time would work well for all 2 or all 3 of you guys? So that's just yeah. It could use some work. Like if he was on the sales team that I'm on now, that I'm managing now, he would need a lot of work. So that's why I say 5 out of 10. So could be better. Let's fast forward through this stuff.
I think about going into it, and there's not much else there for me to analyze. But as always, try to leave time for doing
I wanted to see what this says.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I'll see you guys in the sales call aspect. So, ladies and gents, welcome back to the vault. Now we are getting off the sales call, and with no further ado, just get straight into it.
Okay, they both showed up. Cool. I guess he did his due diligence. Let's see. See what works out to be. And he shaved. Looks good. Okay.
Perfect. So, as I said, last time I kind of didn't go through our normal sort of process just because I want to get a bit of information on where you guys are at, just have a bit of, a bit of a more informal conversation. But, really when we're talking to clients, we break things down into 2 parts. First is, ask you guys some questions, see where you guys are at, and see whether we can actually get you the results that you want. And really for you to also just set some expectations. Because at the end of the day, this is a partnership, and, you need to be able to give us what we want out of this partnership, and we need to be able to give you what, you want out of this partnership. The second thing is culture fit. For us, that is super, super important. Now, both of those have to be a green light, for us to offer you the chance to work with our agency. We've already gone through all of that. And, as I said, watched through the first 15-minute recording. I actually didn't get a chance to watch it, which is why I need to have a bit more of an informal chat last time.
Yeah.
So we've kind of gone through the state of your business, and the good news is, on the results side of things, it's a green light, right? So that's really reflected on the kind of clients that we worked with, the caliber of them, the results that we brought them. So yeah, a little bit about how we operate, so you guys can aren't making a decision in the dark.
He has not changed one bit in terms of how he presents and how he just does things. This just looks like a long freaking pitch. I don't know if this is going to be valuable for. Let's just see what it looks like.
Our number one thing is results, and the offer that we're going to make you today is not based on impressions. It's not based on clicks. It's not based on even potential. Return for one of our e-commerce clients. This is actually Oura Ring, our first 5 months with them. Granted, I will say the first month was primarily retargeting, and then from there, it was 80-90% of the spend was on cold. For education companies, once again, we've been able to do some incredible stuff. That's pure profit on the education. They only know what's going on in the ads manager. They don't know what it's like to spend. I know what it's like to spend 5-6K a day of my own money on ads. Every 2 minutes for email, 15 grand a month, right? It's performance on taking what you're already doing and improving it. And look, I'm not saying that I'll make you $250,000 a month return on ad spend like some of our clients, but as I said, with the offer, you'll see that you can't. There's no situation where you're going to be doing worse than you're doing right now. Is basically it. So yeah, that's that. Now, basically, the last question I have for you after I've talked your ear off is why do you think you would be a good fit for our agency culture and the way that we operate, if at all you think that we would make a good team and a good partnership?
Okay, so how long is this pitch? 14. I want to watch the whole thing. 14, 18. Six, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
That is a little bit of a long pitch, right? I always think a pitch should be around 5 minutes or less, for sure, no matter what you're selling. And just a lot of the visuals, like a lot of this stuff, like people will not pay attention to this. It's just, this is also just like deliverables and who we are, what we do. This is like selling the plane ticket, not selling the vacation. Let's watch this part. Let's see. It's zero risk.
And once again, you'll see kind of with the offer that I make you, it's pretty much primarily based on performance and not only performance, but performance on taking what you're already doing and improving it. And look, I'm not saying that I'll make you $250,000 a month return on ad spend like some of our clients, but as I said, with the offer,
I mean, this is just so much on just like random stuff and just like visuals that do not matter. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong. You know what? I'll be patient. Let's just watch the whole thing.
And then from there, it was 80-90% of the spend was on cold. For education companies, once again, we've been able to do some incredible stuff. That's pure profit on the education company side of things. We're lean. I got a pretty small task force. Myself, Danny, Kieran, Luis. Rather than having 20 employees, I would rather have 3. The caliber of my team, as I said, luckily with my brand and everything, and also just the reputation the agency has, we're basically able to attract the best talent in the world. Danny, fun fact about him, his background is in software engineering, so he was pretty much on a straight line to Facebook, and I had to do a lot of convincing and spend a lot of money to keep him at the company. So our talent, at the agency is well paid, very, very well trained, and as I said, kind of the best in the world. In terms of our lean approach, we have no office. It's funny, obviously the whole pandemic hit in 2018. Everyone's figuring out this whole Zoom thing and remote working. We've been doing that since 2018. We made a decision in 2018 that we wouldn't do any more face-to-face meetings, and we'd have no office, and we'd keep things lean. So that way you're paying for the retainer, and that way you're paying for the value that we bring you, not an espresso addiction, not for some swanky office so that we can look cool, so we can just focus on getting you the results.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, man.
And,
this is
we're
just,
client obsessed. I think a lot.
this is unnecessary. This is just, it has nothing to do with them, their results. Not. There's no value in this. I honestly would. If we could see their faces, I would guarantee they're probably not even paying attention. But this is. Let's jump on this.
I've talked your ear off. Is why do you think you would be a good fit for our agency culture and the way that we operate, if at all you think that we would make a good team and a good partnership?
Yeah. So with company culture, or the culture, what do you mean exactly with that? If you can specify the question a bit more.
Yeah. So in terms of company culture, I mean as in between, from what you can see, the way that we operate, and kind of our company ethos. Do you think that matches up and aligns well to the way that you guys like to operate? I'll give you an example. People that know me well know that I'm very, very into watches. And one of our clients, Kevin Rose, he was on the board of advisors for a company called Hodinkee. Now, if you've never heard of Hodinkee as a client is literally my wet dream. Like I could not think of e-commerce watches like Hodinkee, like anyone who's into watches, like Hodinkee is like their favorite brand in terms of like watch talks and this and that. So in 2018, I got on a sales call with them, and that retainer would have been around $15,000 a month, right? So from a financial perspective, and from a, it's so cool to get on a sales call with them, all the boxes checked. I got on a call with them. In fact, we got on to, and I decided not to bring on that client because from a culture fit, I could tell it just wasn't going to work, because when we had to speak to them, one person had to approve it with another person who had to approve it, and that's just not the way we work. We like to be fast, lean, and focus on making you more.
One thing I can say, from this video till now, this has always been aligned with Iman. He values culture a lot. I can tell you that. That's huge. But I do think this is unique to Iman's company and unique to his process. But I think asking just simply okay, why do you think you're going to be a good fit? If you do think you're a good fit at all. But I do think this pitch was more structured towards who we are, what we do, it's very unique to Iman, which maybe this adds to his exclusivity and the status and whatnot. But as a traditional pitch, they're again focused more on the results they're going to receive, right? What it's going to look like when they get to where they want to be, right? Making sure that they can actually see that tangible result, right? So it's I don't know, if you're selling, let's say content, and you want to build your personal brand, and it's hey, why the reason why so many people fail at social media is because they try to get 1 million views, and with literally no idea how to engage, how to get followers, how to get comments, leads, or paying clients, right? They just kind of post and hope that it's going to work. And you can't wake up tomorrow and get 10 million views. It's just not going to work that way. You have to figure out how you can optimize for virality to build the personal brand, but also optimize for engagement where you can get comments, follows, leads, and then paying clients, right? And so it's just explaining how, right? Some people do fail at social media. Probably what you're failing at right now. You're probably getting some views, but you're not getting anything to show for it. But the intention here is how you can get that to then get people to engage, work with you, da-da-da-da-da. And so it's that's selling the result. It's how can we create that concrete plan around how to get the followers, the engagement, the comments, the likes, the followers, leads, whatever. XYZ. I literally just made that off the top of my head. But that's selling a vacation versus if I was oh yeah, you know, what we're going to do is show you the strategy. Right? We'll come in, we're going to script this, okay, word for word, what to say here, here, and here. Because now when we post a video and it gets 1,000 views, you'll still get people who are going to want to look at you and want to follow you and want to engage with you. Because right now with what you're doing, it's just like you're just explaining, like, literally, like, you're going to be, like how Hermosi says, like, the plane ticket. You're being seat 75B. This is exactly what we're going to give you. Deliverables. If you just give that, like, people are going to be like, okay, you can just show me this on a piece of paper, but, like, what's the result? How is there a tangible result? And that's what gets people to feel like they need this. People make decisions based on emotion and compensate logically. This is when you need to appeal to, like, their side of the brain, the emotional side of the brain. This, I can guarantee they probably weren't even paying attention. And this is why at the end of the conversation, he was like, so what do you think you're going to be a great coach for? It's like, well, what do you mean by that? I mean, he probably didn't know what culture really meant, which is fine. It's okay. Not everybody knows that. But still, if he was really paying, honestly, if he would have just asked, like, hey, like, why do you think you're going to be a good fit? Then I think he would have gotten a better response, or he would have understood immediately. But this causes this, like, bit of confusion, like, longer piece of conversation that's unnecessary. So for you guys who are not Iman, that's just what you can say instead. For Iman, this can work, yes. It's totally different.
Money not having multiple layers of approval. So that's an example right there where, as I said, you know, there just didn't seem like there was much of a culture fit.
Okay, I see. So yeah, I've been working with Vincent since we were 17 and we're 23 at the moment. So yeah, we basically started like the whole e-commerce business in high school, and like why I think it would be a great company fit for us, because we're very like easy to deal with, and as you say as well, like we're definitely happy to give you the responsibility to outsource everything for growing our company with the ads, and we feel like we want to trust you guys, and so just let all of the control to you guys for the advertising part, and also with the over communication with the weekly meetings and the Loom calls and everything like that. We're very happy with that as well, and I think we're very easy to deal with, straightforward, and we're very serious as well. And I wouldn't have came to you guys if we're not serious in growing.
Ladies and gents, you kind of just saw the whole culture fit question at work there. And yeah, not much else to say there. You guys, you know, obviously for you guys, it's very, very interesting because you're seeing this kind of same flow again and again and again and again. Whereas for clients, it's the first time kind of encountering this. You got any thoughts?
Yes, for sure. I totally agree with Jacob. We are two persons that are very easy to communicate with, and we totally agree with the culture that you have with your company, with no office, and being straightforward in the communication. Just over communication is very important for us as well. Just keeping everything together, just communicate fast and communicate around the business often is important for us as well. As you said before, it's like our baby, and it always has been with the e-commerce. We have always been very, very passionate about business, working, not just working all the time, but working smart as well. So that's what I have to say about it. So
For sure. Awesome. Well, good news is, we feel the same way. So,
Right.
glad to hear.
Ironically, it was powerful, but again, like, that's because Iman is Iman, and again, it's different. I still think you have like 100K followers, whatever. I'm just going to reemphasize that. Like, sometimes, guys, most of the time, if there's no personal brand, people don't know you, you're cold calling somebody, cold DMing, like, why do you think you're a good fit for us? If they're not completely sold and discovery wasn't strong enough, this won't happen. I'm letting you know that right now. Like, not everybody can do this transparently. It's not how it's going to work.
Great news. So,
Yeah.
in terms of what we can offer for you guys now, as you guys mentioned last month, you spent 60K and brought back in 200K. So that's around 140K spread right there, return on ad spend. Now, we don't want to come in and take ownership, or we don't want to take credit for what you guys have already done. So we don't want to take, for example, percentage of return on ad spend for 140K when you guys have already done that. But we also need a little margin of safety, because 140K could have been a fluke, quite frankly. So we need just a little margin of safety. So what we can offer you is 1,600 pounds a month base fee. So that's just a tiny base retainer, and then from there we're only going to take a 5% return on ad spend of anything we bring you over 100K a month return on ad spend. So let me kind of break that down a little more. Yeah. So as I said, right now, when we're like, for example, if we spend 50K and we bring you back in 150K, we won't take any percentage of that. We'll only start taking 5% of in terms of return on ad spend. So obviously that's rev minus ad spend. So actual return on spend. Our 5% only kicks in once we make you 100K that month.
Okay.
Right.
So for example, if we spend 100K and we get 300K back, it's the 5% of the 200K.
Only 5% of 100K.
Okay.
For the first 100K, because you guys can already accomplish that yourselves. We don't want to take credit for that.
Okay.
So in that instance, as you said, if we spend 100 and bring back in 300, the first 100K that we make you, minus ads, we don't take any of that. We only take it from 100K onwards in terms of return on spend.
Okay.
Just so another example would be 100K spend, 350 brought back. It's 250 there that we would leverage.
Okay.
Danny, you mean 150?
150.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what you can offer. And then it's a 6-month minimum. That's standard with us. So we don't take clients on for anything less than that. These days, 6-month minimum. And then from there, rolling month by month, you can leave anytime.
That's awesome. And so basically what we want at the moment is Facebook ads, of course. And so you mean that everything's outsourced. So once we sign the onboarding and send the payment over, like everything is automated, like with the creatives and everything like that. So we don't have to.
We'll do all of the, obviously all of the copywriting. So everything will be done on our end. As I said, even as we kind of mentioned in the last call, we'll even do things like test out new funnels. Like for example, for some of our e-commerce clients, we've done quiz funnels. We've expanded it to different markets for some of our clients. That's one thing I mentioned on another call.
Yeah.
We had a client that was basically had UK in their name, and they're a company called, and we told them, we're like, we think you could do a lot better if we start going to the States, Canada, Australia, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And the business owner was pretty apprehensive because they built a whole brand around UK and this and that. And we still advertise as UK even in the States. But from the point that we started advertising this, now month 3, we bring in more money through the States.
It's unnecessary. Too much talking.
Than their entire business did through ads.
Yeah.
Than their entire business did as a whole in the UK when they first started with us.
That's
So
awesome.
once again, that's something that clients come to us because we're not here to come in, take our base retainer, do the bare minimum. Like, we're going to push you, and we're going to offer new suggestions, and we're going to try things for you. Because at the end of the day, just to be very honest with you, for us at this stage, a £4,000 a month, like, we don't touch anything less than $4,000 a month in terms of billables. So our base retainer is inconsequential. For us, we want to test things and try things and push things. Because as I said, once we don't make any money on that first 100K that we bring you, in terms of.
For the question he asked, this is unnecessary. Like, it's just, there's so much that, like, again, and I'm not saying that what Iman's doing is bad by any means, but it's just like for you guys to understand, like, if you ramble like this, it's just not going to position you as an expert. It just seems like you're saying more to compensate, to sound smart, or to sound like you know what you're talking about. But the less you say, the more confident you sound in just like a straight answer where it's like, yeah, exactly. It's exactly what we do. That's, oh, okay, cool. Like, he's done this a million times. But if you're just rambling and like, luckily his ramble doesn't sound like he's like searching for an answer. Like, okay, well, it's actually decent, but it's still unnecessary.
Revenue minus ads, but we're trying to get you to fucking $400 or $500K a month because that's when it gets interesting for us.
Yeah,
for sure. Sounds good.
And also, go ahead, Vincent.
Is there a problem for like, we're Swedish and currently all of our customers are Swedish as well? I'm just thinking about the creatives in terms of copywriting and the videos and that kind of stuff. How will this be managed in Swedish?
Yeah, so we have clients in Finland, Italy, Germany. Basically, the way we do is we write all of the content, and then you guys translate it. Because then we can get a translator. That's possible. And we've offered that to our clients before, but every single client has just decided to translate it themselves. Because that's the easy bit, right? That's the easy bit is translating. Once we send you the creatives, it'll take you, or once we send you the copy, it'll take you 2 minutes to translate it. The reason that a lot of times clients like to translate it themselves is because a translator will translate it word for word, or like they don't understand your product, and it's almost nice that you add that your little cherry on top when you translate.
Yeah.
You just put it in. We do 95% of the heavy lifting. That last 5% you can do, and it comes out well when it comes from you.
Yeah, in terms, you also asked in terms of the creatives on the onboarding. We ask you for like a dump of every sort of creative you have, and then we work with those. We do the edits if it's needed. We do anything that's needed inside of it, but we do need some sort of input on that end. Clearly, as you guys have the products or are able to have them in person, that kind of thing. So in that case, we do. But the way Iman said, it's automated. It's because after that first Google Drive that you send us, we won't be needing anything else because we work with that. It's just that you won't be thinking, okay, those I immediately need more creatives. How we sent it? What are they asking? No, it's already all.
That could have, guys. I'm telling you, like, this is shorter the better. Where it's like, okay, how would you translate? Oh yeah, you guys handle that, right? Take the last 2 minutes, right, or the last 5% of whatever we do. Like, we do the heavy lifting for you guys. 95% of it's done by us. We'll build out everything, but you guys just translate it. Like, even shorter than that. Like, it's like, oh yeah, you guys handle that. Just don't let them think. Like, it just leaves room and gaps for people to make, again, emotional decisions happen when they're ready to go. Think about it like this: when, like, I don't know, like, maybe this is a bad example, but like if you're going out to get some food or like get a computer, and your friend's like, oh, let's just go get Chipotle, or like, oh, let's go get McDonald's, or like, let's just go get the laptop. It's right there. The store's right there. Like, I'll go inside with you. And you make that emotional decision, even though you might not really need it. You kind of need a new computer, or you kind of want food. You don't really need it, but like, let's just go. We'll go together. and then you make that emotional decision. It's the same exact thing here. And so it's like, again, in this case, again, totally different with Iman. But for all you guys, keep it short. Shorter the better.
A folder and we just use that.
Okay, that's awesome.
Sounds good.
Let me see.
And for we're testing a lot of products, and that has been the key. As this is a general store in Sweden, we sell all kind of smart and trendy products and gadgets that you can use to make your life a little bit easier. And the strategy we had right now is like testing about 2 products a day to keep finding winning products and be able to scale, because some products can die off after a few weeks, or sometimes it can last for months. But just about the testing, or is it we can test new products like every day, and that won't be an issue to continue test with new creatives and products.
Yeah, that won't be an issue with us at all. And if you guys need help with that, we've done that as well. So you guys can run your campaigns in parallel. We don't care.
Yeah, that won't be an issue. Totally fine.
And also, if you guys want us to test a specific product, or you find that clue, or your campaign gave you that feedback that, okay, this might be a winner, you can give it to us fast, and we can put it up and see if it runs a scale, if it runs with another kind of structure, whatever it is. So yeah, both things work, and we have no issues with clients running their own campaigns in parallel, or testing, or researching products, and doing some retargeting to see if it works. That's fine with us.
Great. And how does it work if we want to move to different platforms? Let's say that we want to move to like Google or SEO, or how does that work with the retainers? That's still the same?
So SEO, for example, SEO we won't do. It's within the realm of paid traffic. So we'll run your ads on Facebook, we'll run your ads on Google, we'll run your ads on wherever you want. Now that's the thing, we're not going to run ads on 8 different platforms at scale simultaneously, because you're going to get, here's the thing, to get you guys to $500,000 a month, we only need 1 cold source of traffic, right? So we're going to figure out which one works best, and then we can do some retargeting, and cross-pollinate across multiple platforms. But for that retainer, we don't charge extra for the different services. We'll do your retargeting.
It's just that it's taken into, like, if Google makes another 10 grand, and whatever we will, it's part of the revenue minus the ad spend of Google as well. So it's just another channel, but it's not extra. It's nothing. It just takes into the same deal.
Okay.
Once again, it comes into the theme of the most important thing is we're aligned here, and our incentives are aligned. We don't get paid on. We don't take a percentage of ad spend. We don't take a percentage of revenue. We take a percentage of what we're making you after ads on the campaigns. Yep. So if that means that, hey, we can make more money if we even run, for some of our clients, we're even running YouTube ads. If that means that that's a better channel, and that's bringing in more net returns, that we're on the same page here, right? Whatever's best for you, it's best for us, and whatever's best for us is best for you. So that's why kind of this structure works the best, and that's what we do with our clients.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really like the offer. Is it possible for just have a quick with Vincent, so we can just speak and
yeah, for sure. I think is there a way to put you guys in a, or maybe just
you can split it into groups.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure there's a way to. Danny, do you know how to do it?
I'm going to.
I'm pretty sure you guys can do like a spin-off meeting.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's check.
Trying to see her as well.
Smart. He didn't give him an option to hop off the call. He just said he'll put you in the waiting room, or in a separate room, whatever, meeting room, breakout room. That's what it's called.
Maybe in that case, probably just hop off Zoom, give each other a call, or hop into another Zoom meeting, and then Danny and I will wait here.
Okay, awesome. Should we leave or just leave the meeting?
I can call you on the phone, Jacobs, and we can just mute it here. So.
Sure. Yeah, just mute yourself and turn off your video, and then come back.
Awesome. Thank you.
No worries. So, ladies and gentlemen,
even better, right? Like, I mean, it's just like, yeah, I don't care. Just like stay here, do what you got to do. Because once I hop off the call, it doesn't matter.
I didn't know how long you guys would be, so I made myself a quick quarter stick of butter, 2 egg yolks, and MCT oil. Danny and I both do keto, so we have a lot of butter a day.
That's
nice. Yeah.
So I've had a talk with Vincent, and I think we're very happy with the offer that you gave us, and we want to proceed with working with you guys.
Awesome, great stuff.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Actually, it feels very good for us.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad. Well, yeah. First of all, welcome to the agency. In terms of getting the ball rolling, here's next steps. We'll send over the invoice and get that paid on the call now. We'll get you set up on Slack, and then we'll also send you the onboarding link. Now, when I send you the onboarding, granted, I'll say it takes you 45 minutes, but that means that, for the next 3 weeks, we won't have to chase up and try to get an email and a password here, and it doesn't, it takes you 45 minutes and then it's done. Okay. And then at the end of it, you'll book in your onboarding call. And, if you go through the onboarding today, you might even be able to book in an onboarding tomorrow.
Great.
So now I'll be with myself, Danny, Luis, and Kieran. And I said that's where we'll come in, and we'll have the initial onboarding call, and you'll meet the rest of the team, et cetera, et cetera. So first things first, we need to do today is get the invoice squared away and create you guys a Slack channel. Also, very convenient. Danny, his background is in software engineering, but Kieran's background is in law. So yeah, Kieran will just add the few little amendments to the contract, and you guys should get that in the next like 30 to 60 minutes.
That's awesome. Perfect.
Perfect.
So if you could drop your company details here. So I need your registered business name.
That was good. He didn't give them an option to jump off, discuss it. This looks like shit. Hold on, let me stop. What the fuck? Looks so unclear. Yeah, he didn't give them an option to jump off, anything like that. One thing I could say is he has a strong frame. Some people are like, oh, well, so we're going to maybe take payment, and like they get all shaky and weird. Okay, cool. We'll take care of payment right now. We'll get to do onboarding, and then we'll do any of the amendments in the contract and make sure you can sign up today. You'll be all good. Okay? There's no question. It doesn't make it weird. When you feel like, oh, a little shaky, they get shaky. So overall, discovery call was subpar. Pitch, subpar. That final question was a strong question, but obviously, like, they needed what he provided, and he had the undeniable proof, at least at this time. I remember, like, 2020, when he was just starting to pop off. Yeah. And so that's what personal branding does, man. Personal branding builds that trust like no other. So, I would say if you guys emulated this call, you probably would not close it. But if you get to a level of personal branding where Iman was at this time and you replicate it, then yeah, you could probably do the same. So overall, if you want to understand how to have a proper sales call and follow the frameworks, we've got a free sales community you can join, guys, where I coach through and teach you guys how to sell properly. Again, it's free. I'm not asking for anything. But trust me, working with Hermosi and working with Iman, I've learned a little bit about sales. And Iman's gotten a lot better at sales too since this last video as well. But learned from some great people at both those places. And so hope this was helpful for you guys. Hopefully you guys can close more deals after watching this. And hope to see you guys in the community. Take care.